Dear students, now we will discuss on the next topic, that is nothing but the capacitor. So the objective of this topic is again to understand what is capacitor, capacitor types, capacitance identification, then material use and voltage handling capacity, series and parallel equivalents of capacitor, and various applications of that capacitor, same as that of our previous one, that is resistor. So here first of all we'll see what is meant by capacitor. So it is basically used to block the DC and pass AC signal, and hence can say either to store the energy or it can be acting as a filter. Then capacitors are available as fixed and again variable. In that fixed there are again two subtypes, that is fixed polarized and fixed non-polarized. Polarized means it is electrolytic type and non-electrolytic type. Then third one, that is variable. In variable only non-polarized capacitors are available. So in fixed polarized capacitor, that is nothing but electrolytic capacitor, it is mostly preferred to store the voltage, like in voltage multipliers, rectifier circuit, power supplies and their filters, etc. While that fixed non-polarized capacitors mostly are available like ceramic, polyester, paper, mica type, and it is used as a coupling. Then noise filters like low pass, high pass, band pass, etc. Then variable non-polarized, it is nothing but, or it is also known as a trimmer or gang capacitor, etc. It is used to set the required capacitance in the circuit. That is example in tune amplifiers, that is in radio receivers. Now the capacitance value, it is given either in number form or directly it is mentioned on the capacitor, or again it is available in color band. So in the ceramic type of capacitor, a number is given on it. So as shown over here, capacitance calculation, it can be done. The example is taken, a ceramic capacitor is shown over here, and the number written, it is of 224. So how the capacitance of this ceramic capacitor is to be determined from this given number. So the capacitance, again first two numbers note down it as it is, that is 22, I written over here first two, then into 10 raised to the power is third number. Here the third number is 4, and that's why it is taken as 10 raised to power. Now remember the main difference between the capacitance calculation and resistance or inductance calculation. Over here you have to take this picofarad always as a multiplier with this value. So 22 into 10 raised to 4, that is picofarad. Picofarad means it is 10 raised to minus 12, remember. So here you can write, it is written 22 into 10 raised to 4 into 10 raised to minus 12. Now it will be in farad. That pico is written as 10 raised to minus 12, right? So the value it comes as 22 into 10 raised to minus 8 farad. Now in standard form, the same we can write as a 220 nanofarad. Nanofarad means it is 10 raised to minus 9, correct? So as it is 22 into 10 raised to minus 8, the same we can write it as a 220 into 10 raised to minus 9 farad. 10 raised to minus 9 farad means it is nanofarad. So that's why the value is 220 nanofarad. Now the second example is taken for electrolytic type of capacitor. The capacitance, voltage rating as well as its terminal polarity, it is mentioned on that capacitor itself, right? So here I taken the example, you can observe on that capacitor it is written as 470 microfarad and 200 volts. So this capacitor, it is of 470 microfarad is its capacitance, and the voltage handling capacity, it is of 200 volts. Now the third important term, as it is a polarized capacitor, electrolytic capacitor, we have to identify which terminal is to be considered as a positive and which one is negative. So remember, there will be a negative sign given on that capacitor, and the respective terminal or closer terminal of that sign, it is nothing but negative. So this terminal, it is negative terminal, and remaining one will be obviously positive, right? Another way is also there. Generally negative terminal is somewhat short in length as compared to that positive. That is also one type of identification, right? Now the third one, that is in the type of polyester type of capacitor, there is a color band given on that capacitor, same as that of whatever we seen for resistors, is it? So a small difference is there again. While for the color the numbers are same, you will observe here the sequence of color and their assigned numbers are same. The tolerance, it is given only for green color and white color, while you will observe there are only two colors which are assigned for the voltage rating of that capacitor. This polyester type of capacitor, it is available or that voltage ratings are also mentioned on it. So if it is of red, then that capacitor is of, we can say, 250 volt capacitor. Only two colors are there, one is red and another one is yellow. So for yellow color it is of 400 volts. So how to decide the value of capacitance of that capacitor? We'll take example. So see here, consider this first color as a first digit, then second digit, and third band as a number of zeros with that first two. Here we'll take example. First one is red, right now. Then second one is violet. So for red the number is 2, assigned number is 2. For violet it is 7. So 27 it comes from first two numbers, these two. Now the third band, it is for number of zeros, it is mentioned here, number of zeros. So for number of zeros it is yellow colored. For yellow color number is how much? 4, and that's why 4 zeros are directly written over here, correct? And same as that of previous type of capacitor, that is ceramic, that picofarad you have to write by default. Okay? Picofarad means it will be 10 raised to minus 12 farad. Now when you will adjust these numbers, you will have the value as 270 nanofarad. So this capacitor, that means 27 and 4 zeros into 10 raised to minus 12 farad. So it will be of 270 nanofarad. That means 270 into 10 raised to minus 9 farad. Now the remaining two terms, that is tolerance and its voltage rating. So the next band, that is fourth band, it is assigned for tolerance. This one, fourth band is for tolerance. Here fourth band is green colored. For green color the tolerance is 5%. It is mentioned over here, right? And that's why what I written, the tolerance is 5% for this capacitor. And last one, that is its voltage capacity or voltage handling capacity. See here, it is written over here now, the assigned color for this remaining part, it is for voltage rating. Now the assigned color is yellow, and already I told only two types of voltage ratings are available and assign only two colors, that is red and yellow. For yellow color it is 400 volt, and that's why this capacitor is of 400 volt capacitor. So finally, how you will read the details of this capacitor? It is up to 270 nanofarad with 5% tolerance and 400 volt voltage handling capacity. Same second capacitor also you can observe. First two colors are red, that's why the number are written as 22 red, that is 22. Then third one, that is 10 raised to again that third one, that is number of zeros, so it is of orange color, and that's why for orange color the assigned number is 3. That's why 3 zeros are written directly, and picofarad, that is compulsory. Okay, so finally you will have the value of that capacitor as 22 nanofarad. Now the third band, that is for tolerance, fourth one, that is for tolerance, again it is green means it is of 5% tolerance, and last remaining part, that is for voltage handling, it is of red color, that means the capacitor is of 250 volt rating capacitor. So finally the capacitor you have to read it as what? 22 nanofarad with 5% tolerance and 250 volt voltage handling capacity. And same this last one also you can check, right? Now the already you are familiar with the reactance offered by the these frequency dependent components, that is nothing but capacitor as well as inductor. It differs from the resistor. See, in case of resistor, either applied voltage as a DC voltage or somewhat AC voltage, the resistance of resistor will not going on to change. It remains constant. That means the resistance of resistor, it is independent of frequency of the applied voltage, but it is not applicable for capacitor or inductor also. In next topic we will see for inductor also. So here remember, the reactance offered by capacitor, it is dependent on the applied signal frequency, and that's why it is written as a XC. XC, it is nothing but dependent term, which is nothing but 1 upon 2 pi FC. Here you will observe F, it is nothing but which or how much frequency signal you are applying to it, and C, it is the capacitance of that capacitor, which is a fixed one. So here we can say the reactance of capacitor, it is inversely proportional to F. That means if the F is 0, that means for DC signal, as the frequency is 0, the reactance offered by that capacitor, that will be infinite. Infinite reactance means what? It will going on to act as open circuit. And similarly, if the applied signal have a non-zero value, we can say for example 100 kilohertz, then the XC will be very small because it is inversely proportional. 100k, that term is somewhat large term, that's why XC will be very small. Is it? So here the same things I already written. Capacitor offers infinite reactance for DC, that is 0 Hz signal, and acts as open circuit, right? And that's why generally we are saying what, it does not passes the DC signal through it whenever it is connected in series as shown, right? While for AC signal the reactance is finite, and the value, it depends on the frequency of applied signal and the capacitance of that capacitor. So we'll take just one example. See, one capacitor, it is connected in series with the signal source. This V in, it is a signal source. So initially consider this V in having its frequency as a 0 Hz and amplitude as a 5 volt or 10 volt, right? So how much will be the output voltage across this load resistance, that is RL? As I mentioned, the frequency of that input signal as a 0 Hz, the XC offered by this capacitor, it will be infinite. And as it will be infinite, infinite means what? This capacitor will going on to act as an open circuit. And whenever it will act as open circuit, there is no path for the flow of current from source to this load resistance, and that's why the voltage drop across RL, that will remain 0. So for 0 Hz input signal, the obtained output will be 0, right? Similarly, if the applied input signal is of high frequency signal, then this capacitor, it will not going on to act as an open circuit, but it will going on to act as somewhat resistive. See, here it is shown, and shown as a variable. Variable means what? It is frequency dependent term. As you will go on to change the input signal frequency, this XC also will go on to change, and that's why it is shown as a variable resistance. So according to change in input signal frequency, our output voltage also will go on to change across this load resistance. Whenever it will have a 0 resistance, output will be 0. Whenever it will have somewhat moderate frequency, then the output will be somewhat moderate. When the frequency will be very high, the obtained output will be almost equals to input, because the reactance, it will be closer to 0 for very high input signal frequency, right? Now the next combination, purposely again I shown, the capacitor is connected in parallel with RL. Again the same consideration, if input signal frequency, if it is a DC signal, this one is a DC signal, then in that case what will be the output? For DC signal, the XC offered by this capacitor, it will be infinite. That means it will be going to act as open, right? So whatever current will flow, it will directly flow through RL, and hence the obtained output voltage, it will be almost equals to input voltage, that is DC. Is it? Similarly, if the input signal frequency is very high, 100 kilohertz, now the XC offered by this capacitor, it will be almost equals to 0. Not exactly, but we can consider it as a 0. 0 means this capacitor, now it will go on to act as a short circuit for 100 kilohertz input signal, and that's why output will be 0. Clear? The same things I tried to show over here. See, for AC input signal, again this XC, it will be it will be variable, acting as a variable resistance, and if it is very high, input signal frequency is very high, this XC, it will be almost equals to 0. That means this capacitor, it will go on to act as a short circuit for this high frequency input AC signal, and that's why the voltage across that short circuit path, it will be almost equals to 0. So according to that connection of capacitor, either parallel or in series, it will go on to act with that AC or DC. That means either it will going on to pass or it will going on to block it, right? Now the series and parallel capacitors. See, in case of resistor, what we saying, when our resistors are connected in series, the equivalent or R total is directly the sum of that. And in case of parallel connection, it is somewhat like this. So whenever capacitors are connected in parallel, the C equivalent is C1, C2, C3 into C4 divided by the total capacitance. And whenever they are connected in parallel with each other, then the C equivalent is simply the just sum of capacitance of all that capacitors. It is somewhat we can say inverse as that of resistors. Now the applications of capacitor. Already I told that polarized capacitor, it is used to store the energy. So reservoir capacitors, that means electrolytic capacitors, they are used in power supplies where they will go on to smoothen the output of that rectifier circuits. Then they are also used in voltage multiplier circuits as they stores the energy, means to boost the DC voltage levels, that is voltage multipliers. And additional uses include, that is considering that non-polarized capacitors as a power conditioning, then signal coupling or decoupling, and electronic noise filtering, etc. So these are the basic applications of that capacitor. So in summary, what we are saying, we discussed what is meant by that capacitor or that capacitor types and identification, then voltage handling capacity or how it is to be determined from the given things, either in that color band format or the by given that actual values. Then series parallel equivalent of that capacitor and various applications of capacitor. So I think you might have understood again about the details of this next topic, that is capacitor. In next topic we will go on to discuss on the inductors. So thank you.